funk freaker. Freaking up fat funk for fun, finally for the speaker. Drop 'em like parachutes and kick 'em like boots. I'm smooth like suits who's underground seeing roots. Who got the mouse, baby? Can't even get the maybe. Screaming, mama, save me. I got the magnificent, something special kind of style, though. Slow flow, bent like an elbow.
Hello everybody, I am so happy to be with you guys. Well, I'm so happy you tuned in to my YouTube channel. So today I am here for a story time, and this story time is going to be all about my trip to California and how my time has been in California now, like since I've been here. So I've been living in California now for 7 months, and it's been an interesting experience to say the least. Older than me, you know what I'm saying? Well, not a lot, but a few years older than me, and everybody was just so content with like their lives and like where they were, and like people had goals and everybody wanted to get someplace, but they really knew how to be content with what they were doing in that moment. So if they were 30 and still working on their bachelor's degree, who cares? You know what I'm saying? It was like their life wasn't defined by societal expectations. So yeah, and then I got to like discover more of the nightlife, and the nightlife of San Diego, in my opinion, you know, I don't shoot the messenger, you know, it's just different. It's just different. If you're really into Latina culture and that vibe, it's for you, and it's been very nice to experience it. And shoot, now I jam to some music that I would have never been listening to, but that's not even the problem. But what I don't like is that it's not really, it's like everybody stays kind of ignorant to everything else. You know what I'm saying? Because like for me, for example, I lived in South America for a year, so I do speak conversational Spanish, and I do know how to dance salsa and bachata. So I don't like that here it's so unexpected of me. Like, it's like, if you are black in here, you stay over here, and if you are Latina in here, you stay over here and get all the advantages of being around mostly your kind of people. You know what I'm saying? Because things are mostly catered to Hispanic people, which is fine. We're right next to the border, but it would be nice if it was more inclusion. And it's a learning lesson, because I never really thought about it. You know, being from a chocolate city, again, I never really think about being the outcast and how important it is to make people that are different than you feel welcome and feel okay. Like here, it's like, if you freaking start dancing salsa or know something's, it's like, whoa, shocking. Oh my God, she can order a taco. Like, no, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. Like, I'm not ignorant, I'm not dumb. So I really don't like that about San Diego, and the fact that there really is no real diversity. Like, it's like, don't advertise that your city's so diverse and so this and so that, when it, in real honesty, it may be, but it's not inclusion. It's not a melting pot. It's a freaking Chex Mix. Like, everybody just kind of stays in their part and does their own little thing. And I don't like that, because I like diversity, and even diversity in my own culture. It's like, all the black people here just stick with each other and do the lame things that they do. Like, you know, I don't always want to listen to trap music when I go out. Sometimes I want to listen to jazz. Sometimes I want to listen to reggae. Sometimes I want to listen to R&B, and it's just like one tone. Because it's a lot of interracial couples does not mean that it's diverse. It's like, if there is an interracial couple, it's like mostly the black guy or the black girl, they'll erase who the hell they are and just adopt whatever else the other person is about or does. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not real diversity. Diversity is when everybody kind of is proud of them and who they are, and is diverse in who they are as a person. It's just representing them, you know, and it's definitely lacking here, and it's actually really disturbing. And to the black men here that are weirded out, like, you know, and just don't know like what's going on or who they are or anything, y'all need to go to Atlanta, y'all need to go to Africa. I don't know where y'all need to go, but y'all definitely need to realize your own culture, because you look lost and honestly laughable at this point. Also, you know, they do drugs everywhere, and I realize that they do drugs everywhere, and maybe it's just because I'm now entering in this industry where it just seems a little bit more forefronted, but I had never seen anyone do cocaine smacked out in front of me until I moved out to San Diego. A lot of people do hard drugs here, bottom line, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like in Atlanta, it's way more of a scene of a crowd that, okay, they'll drink and they might smoke a little weed or something like that, but they're not sniffing the lines right in front of your face. Like, what? Because it's like, do you party or do you party? You know what I'm saying? I like to party. I like to dance. I like to have fun with people, but I ain't a party person. I'm not trying to get gone. You know what I'm saying? So yes, that's like one of those things that it was like, no, I'm not in the dating scene. And this is not supposed to be like a bash San Diego vlog. I hope it doesn't come across like that because I've learned so much and it's been a very interesting experience. But the dating scene here, guys, it literally sucks. Like, the dating scene sucks. I don't know why or what's going on, but it's a bunch of weirdos. Like, at least that's what I've been approached with. It seems like most people don't really want relationships at all, but yeah, it just seems like nobody really wants anything serious, and they don't really even know themselves to know if that's what they don't want. And the people who think that they want something serious are like, like they're too much. Like, they just grab onto you and they don't want to let go, and they just super weird me out, like first time meeting them type weird out. Okay, it's okay to want something serious, cool, that's fine, and it's okay to express that, but to be asking to marry me and raise your child on day one is a lot. I think it would be a lot for anybody. Or to be trying to hold my hand the whole night on a date is a lot. And so that's one form of a lot. And then there's the other extreme of like, I'm on a date and a man literally tells me that he's a male stripper. And that's a whole story in itself. And I will maybe come and do a story time on my hell date. But yes, like, telling me he's a male stripper, then he don't have no money to pay for the date. So it was just ridiculous, and I had to catch an Uber. So it's been a lot of like crazy situations like that, things like that. You know, I find that a lot of people out here don't really want to stand for something, so they kind of fall for everything. And I realize that I'm a person, I may be passionate, it may come off as a little aggressive, but I'm definitely standing for what I stand for, and that's that.
Every black girl on TikTok, I'm here to say that I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we have to sit here and watch our race and our culture of women be bashed and disrespected just so they can uplift other females of other color. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that we see a boy of our own color, we're so insecure and traumatized that we don't even think, am I pretty enough anymore? We have to sit and think, does he even want me because of the color of my skin? And I'm so sorry that we have to go through that. You're beautiful and I want you to know it. I promise.
I call complete and utter cap. The story elements regarding interracial dating is some very measured bullshit. Let me start off by saying this. Black men do not owe you a damn thing. Black men do not owe you shit. From the outset, it would seem that you are butthurt about the lack of race loyalty you perceived in San Diego, California. You made some quick snippy swipes at the brothers, but the trained ear told me that you were self-editing your experiences, perhaps out of guilt, but more likely because recounting them in front of your camera would be self-incriminating and, dare I say, damaging. I repeat, black men do not owe you shit. Nada. Nothing no pasa nada. Comprende biatch. So now that it's out of the way, let's get down to business. The real reason you're butthurt and mad about your flagging interpersonal life in California is because you inadvertently placed yourself in a sexual marketplace where you couldn't compete. You flamed out, for lack of a better term. And then regarding some of the flimsy things you did recount, like dating the male stripper and such, when you realized you couldn't compete, you went somewhere looking to artificially up your assumed value in a global sexual marketplace. You went to the hood, low-hanging fruit for a butthurt sociopath with a bruised ego. Found out you couldn't compete there either. Kings, California has some deceptively attractive hood rats of various ethnicities. I know, I lived there for almost 30 fucking years and sometimes couldn't go out without tripping over some ratchet street box that would be statistically a certified 10 in my old Southside Chicago neighborhood. I'm talking about women built like models and porn stars of various ethnicities. And to be honest, a lot of black women were dealing themselves out of the game on a variety of levels. a lot bordering on the psychotic, sexually sadistic, and misandrist-tinged ideological. Yes, some of the sisters were on some whack shit in them streets. One thing was clear, however, it was a dog-eat-dog world for niggas and bitches, and I've got to say it just like that because dating and hookup culture in Cali by and large was a distraction at best and innately dangerous at worst, especially with some sisters and a subset of Latina women I encountered. Even then, those Latina women would routinely clean the pipes masterfully, even if you took them to TGI Friday, the Cheesecake Factory, Denny's, or motherfucking McDonald's. I had a ridiculously thick Latina with a baby face tell me to get that shit to go so that we could go to a hotel and fuck once. Said she loved Negroes, her words, not mine. Yeah, that was offensive, but she got King Kong'd out of her skull and was grinning ear to ear doing that walk of shame out of the fucking room so that I could get some sleep before going to work. Bitch. Once I figured out the game, there was no way I was putting up with that passive-aggressive nonsense they peddle back home in the ethnic black community. In fact, everywhere I went, black women were sitting in the back of the bus, interpersonally speaking. Let me remind you, I was non-select, until I figured out how the machine works. It read all over my person so much that a sista actually grabbed my wrists aggressively while we were having sex, angrily telling me I wasn't gonna hit and run on her bum ass. Guess what? I hit and run, my nigga. And speaking of the sisterhood, I'll admit preferring older black women during those hookup years, because they were aware of their intrinsic value in a global sexual marketplace, especially close to the border of Mexico, making it easy for a lot of black men, a percentage military to quote-unquote, get a taste. Living on the West Coast for a young black man in his 20s and beyond approximated a sexual potluck of sorts, whether you like it or not. I grew up non-select, then traveled out of necessity and duty to a young family I mistakenly thought I had a responsibility to, unwittingly walking into that global sexual marketplace. Kings. The shit coming out of this woman's mouth is utter cap straight up. And before you go there, I had plenty of black women of your particular variety. Do you know how a non-select brother accomplished that? With ease, young lady. With motherfucking ease. I bumped into a lot of black women with your mindset when I was hanging out in non-melanated spaces. College parties, going out in large friend groups, and hanging out in the affluent areas of Los Angeles and abroad. The fake white girl accent mixed with faux Afrocentric drip got tired real fast. When these women flamed out with Brad, I was approached as an interpersonal backup plan, publicly. My relaxed blasé attitude and proximity to other ethnicities of women mingling easily seemed to incense a number of these women who promptly interjected themselves into whatever conversation I was having at the time. Reading between the lines, they felt like I owed them some manner of race loyalty when their original intentions had been to flip me the middle finger while canoodling with Brad and Chad. Funny instance, saw a Chad delivering a girl to me that was obviously interested in him, a divester through and through. She tried it with me, ultimately embarrassing herself in front of dem white peoples she loved so much when I ran her through verbally, Dave Chappelle style. She returned later motivated when she saw me conversing with this easygoing blonde who was Atlanta thick. Of course, incorrectly she assumed I was on the make, you know, white women, blacks, and blondes. That blonde was a lesbian, and I beat the back out of that divester partially because she didn't want to be seen leaving the party unattached. In her mind, it was a win for that self-hating sisterhood, even though I was non-select in her eyes. She cleaned the pipes in toxic, self-effacing, narcissistic fashion, and I blew her snooty back out. The lady's prerogative be damned, and I went to an early AM Denny's for an original gland slam, biatch. Basically, what I'm saying is, get over yourself before I go, Kings. Stay the fuck out of Atlanta. Kings, keep your head on a swivel, protect your bag, and above all motherfucking else, do not make fallen women the mothers of your children. They're your future, your legacy. Keeping it 100. SYSBM means save yourself, black men. The Black Patriarchy. A non-existent group of fictional black male power brokers not discredited, erroneously jailed or outright killed by the minority majority who look the other way as they work tirelessly to shame, oppress, and outright take out the altruistic black female populace of the honorable democratic United States of America. 3K's inset bitches. These evil wealthy members of the black patriarchy are the sole reason for all the ills of the black community, walking, talking, holding down jobs, and doing everything up to and including giving their very lives in service to their baby mamas and baby's motherfucking kids. Their motto that strikes fear into the hearts of black women everywhere: bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.